to be in Laws, and now we have one of the best whitetails pretty much in the United States. Illinois is the best. I hunt Illinois. It's the best out of the whole world. In Illinois for big horns. I lease a farm, and I hunt on my friend's farm. I lease a farm next to it. I got a big camper I take up there, and I hunt for a couple months out of the year. The past 4 or 5 years, I go, well, 3 months. I was going from October, November, December, and some of January, but the end of October, November, December, mostly 2.5, 3 months. And I hunt. I've killed a lot of deer with a bow and arrow. My whole wall's got all kinds of deer, and I've got bigger ones than I've even got on my wall, but I haven't mounted them. You know, because I got tired of paying the money, and I got pictures of them, and you know. And I don't care if I kill anything now or not. I'm a good hunter. I see a lot of deer. I just like to be out in the woods. But I could kill a lot of deer. Because of my friends, they always want deer, so I kill them does, which are female deers. They buy a tag, give me the tag, I'll kill a deer, and then I'll cut it up and everything for them, and they can get it processed in the hamburger, sausage, or whatever. But this year I didn't do that because I left so early. I said I'm not going to kill no deer except a big buck, and I seen some, but they wasn't big enough because I want monsters. And like I said, I'm trying to kill big buck. I mean, I eat them too, but if I don't kill a deer, it's okay. I mean, I could have killed a lot of deer, but I didn't because I didn't want to go through processing. I still got deer from last year in my freezer. You can only eat so much of it, you know.
You eat deer?
Yeah, it's good. It's like beef. If you kill it, if they're corn fed like in Illinois, I mean it's better than beef for you. It's so lean. It's better meat than beef. And if you cook it right, it tastes just like beef. Nobody even knows it. If they're fed on corn, like a grain. I mean, if they're out in the woods eating acorns, which is what they call not a fruit, it's a nut off of a tree, then they're tougher. And if they live in the big mountains where they got to go up and down the hills, their muscles get real tough, and they're tougher too. If you kill a deer where it's flatter and on grain, it's just like eating beef. You can't even tell the difference. Yeah. You can turn it into sausage, make it into hamburger.
It's not illegal there?
It is legal.
Oh, it's legal?
Yes, you got to buy a license.
Ah.
You buy a license.
So it's illegal until you buy a license.
Oh, it's illegal. There's a certain season, first off. You can't kill them all year long. There's only a certain season. Like our hunting season in Missouri starts September 15th now and ends January 15th. So in them months you can only kill 2 bucks. That's male deer with horns. They got to have horns over 4 inches on each side, tall to be a buck. And you can kill I don't know how many does, probably 6 or 7 does. Female deers you can kill 6 or 7, but you have to buy a permit for every one. You got to buy a permit, go out and hunt, kill one, tag it, check it in. You check it in electronically on your phone now. You used to have to take it to a check-in station, and then they would check it in for you. But now you do it electronically. So, you know, people still do it illegally because you don't have to check it in, but most people do check them in, and they're legal hunters.
Nice.
You can get stopped by a conservation agent, then they can take your rights to hunt away for life. And they can take your vehicle, your guns, if they want to. I mean, you know, and a big fine on top of it. So, you know, but the first offense, they're probably not going to take your gun and take your truck, but they could. They legally could. So people don't do it too much because they don't want to lose their right. They don't want to lose their gun, truck, you know. I mean, that's one problem me coming over here. I do love to hunt. I like to be outside in the woods, you know. You don't really have that here. And I like the different changes of weather too, myself. I like spring and fall, summer. I like the winters too, some, but I don't like the freezing cold, you know.
No,
I worked out all my life in the snow up until about 10 years ago, and every year now when it comes winter and I see the snow, I'm sitting in my warm house and I'm not in a truck plowing snow, and I'm like, that snow is pretty. All them other years that snow was not pretty to me because I was out there 24 hours, sometimes 2.5 to 3 days with drinking coffee out of the thermos, and it was tough. I did that for a long time. I like the warm better than the cold though now.
Me too. But you could always take up fishing out in the sea, couldn't you?
Oh, I can live here, Terrence. I done thought about it a whole bunch of times because of baby.
Oh, baby.
That's why. Last year I said, well, I could do this. And then I got here this year and said, I kind of know everything a lot better than I did. And I said, I could really do this. I said, so what do I want to do to make a living? Well, there's a whole bunch of things I could do here to make a living. I mean, I'm not going to be rich, but I can make a good living. I mean, I know you're not supposed to work. I don't think, right? But
Well, you're supposed to have a permit.
a permit, you can get a permit to work?
I believe so.
Yeah,
Okay.
working permit.
Okay, well, I didn't know that, but I could find a job making pretty good money here, running heavy equipment, or, you know, if I could start a business here too. There's a lot of things I could do. I can do about anything. I mean, I've built houses from the ground up. I know how to do it all, but I'm getting too old to do it all. That's the problem.
Me too.
So, but,
You can get labour here,
right,
and they can be trained to
Yeah.
to work very well.
right.
You know, as if you're going on tours, just have a look there at those. It looks like it's not acres of tile,
Yeah,
but the floor
I've seen the tile. It looks pretty nice.
it's pretty good.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know?
Well, I'll tell you what, I knew there was more skill over there on Comodos Island. I seen the brick lane, and I said, man, these guys really know how to lay brick. And here, too, I seen more quality, too, than I seen on our Mounds Island. And also a lot of different things. I'm like, well, there's some good workers here. Like the angles when they put the A-frames on, like in the church. I mean, they're not perfect and all. They're hand cut with a handsaw. But they're still, it takes talent to do that.
Well, they do
It's a
that
skill, and they
up
do
there.
it up there. Yeah, I mean, that's this crazy thing about it. Now, they do really good for going up on that, standing on that 2x4 wall, or 2x6s, 2x4s, I think, and building the piece by piece with hammers and saws.
No
Electric.
no
Right.
power source.
If they had learned how to do electric and use the air hammer, you know how much, if they can get that much done, how good they work. They do work hard, and they're good at it. If they could be trained to use a power saw and an air nailer, they could get 3 times 4 or 5 guys done for what they do in one day.
You know,
And they realize that they're not tearing their shoulders up, their elbows, their knees, because I mean, them guys are going to be old at 40 years old. Regardless, they have to work. Wore out.
well, have you ever seen them unloading the sacks of rice and
Well,
so on?
Here, no, I haven't, but I have, but here's what I've seen. On Bateau River, they're going out into a wooden boat, diving down with a bucket and picking up quarry rock, putting it into a sack on the boat until it's almost sunk the boat, 6 or 7 guys. Then they're coming up to the quarry and they're standing like this, and one guy's in the boat throwing a big old sack full of rock on the man's shoulder. He's running up the bank, and then he dumps it on the screen. I'm like, can you? And then they're only making 200 pesos a day, because I asked the man when I bought sacks there of rock. I said, what? You're working all day, because I see him going up the river, coming back all day long. 200 pesos a day. I mean, they got muscles like this, but they're going to be broke down at 30 years old. I mean, you know, you're in the water half the day, then you're carrying 200-pound bags of rock, or at least 150, but they're pretty full. I mean, they're big bags. It's 150, 200 pounds on your shoulder, and then walking up, and I mean, you're going to be tore up. You just can't do it. I don't care how big and bad you are. You're not going to make it past 35 or 40, because I snapped both these tendons in this arm. It took them 7 hours to fix that. Both tendons, they sewed it back together. This arm here, I only got a half a muscle because they couldn't fix this one. My rotor cuff's tore up. I got a ball sticking out. It's that wide and that high because it's tore. It should have surgery. This one's messed up too. My back and neck is messed up too. So I know what they're doing because I did it all too. And I know you can't keep going because I thought I was indestructible when I was From 16, I worked really from 13 till all my life. I worked hard. Up until 2000, I worked 7 days a week. From when I was 16 to year 2000, when I went through the divorce, I said, I was sitting on a bucket and I said, looked around at my shop and I had like 7, 8 guys working. They wasn't working. I said I had them working at the time. I was working on my truck when this all come to me. I was sitting up against my shop. It was dark out. I was looking up at my light and moths was flying around. Anyway, I was tired. Worked all day working on my truck, and I looked around and I'm like, why am I doing all this? Why am I working 7 days a week? And I said, I'm not doing this no more. I said, I walked in and told my wife, I said, Monday morning we're going to have a talk with her. I'm going to have a talk with all my guys. We're not working no more weekends unless it's emergency, like we build at Keystone block walls, lots of them, and tie walls. And sometimes when it rains around the pool, you got a wall tour out, you got to work on the weekends because all the mud will be in the pool, okay? We also mowed a lot of apartment buildings, complexes, a lot of big places. Well, if it rains, you got to take care of the big places. So we did have to work some weekends, but most of the time, I didn't work too many weekends. You know, and my guys either, and because it didn't pay off. And then I realized I was, thought I was doing the right thing by working, taking care of my family, but really I wasn't, because I wasn't there at my son ball games very often. I did go camping with them in Boy Scouts and stuff like that, but I realized that working is not the most important thing. I thought I was doing the right thing, you know, but it wasn't. It's not the right thing.
That's the American ethic.
You're right, and that's what I was taught.
Of working very hard. Always tried to get this over, that Americans work incredibly hard, you know, at jobs that they hate.
Yes, that's true, and most of them do not like their job.
Yeah.
You know, and they don't even know why they're doing it. They're just taught to do it. If you ask somebody why you working, they will sit there and look. I've asked a lot of people, why you working? I know why I'm working. Here's why I work, Darren. Now, I don't work for money, okay? I work to be a servant to people. All right? Now, from me serving people, a benefit is that I am making money.
Right.
You see?
But the initial motive, the intention is
serve people. I am helping people. I trap wild animals out of people's homes, okay? They're afraid. Some of them moves out of their home because that raccoon is in their attic. I mean, they move out because they're scared to death. Or they got a 4 or 5 foot black snake in their house. They've seen it, but they can't find it. They move out. So what I'm doing is I help them have a peace of mind. I solve the problem, get the animal out, do the repair, guarantee my work, and I'm giving them a peace of mind, and I'm giving them a warranty. You know, I mean, I'm helping people. Sure. You know, and that's why God blesses my life, because I'm not doing it for money. You see, I mean, you know, and I'm happy too. I'm happy doing what I do. I'm not going to do something unless I want to do it. First off, if I hated a job, I'm going to quit that job really quick, because I've hated jobs when I worked for a company, and I quit real quick. And I told them I hate it, and they said, well, you're a good worker. Well, you know, I'm going to do good, but see, I don't like working for this. I'm not going to breathe insulation out my nose, rebagging insulation. I did this when I was a kid. I said, no, I'm not going to look like black, full of insulation. I did it at night. I was working doing landscaping, not for myself then. I worked for a nursery 7 days a week. Then I worked for a nursery 7 days a week, and then for 6 months of my life I worked day and night. I worked 7 days a week at Kaplan Landscaping, and I worked for Weather Guard Insulation at night, 8 hours a day. I did that for 6 months of my life, day and night. And I don't even know what happened in the 6 months, but you know, I was poor. I mean, my dad died when I was 9. I had to live out of trash cans. I know what poor is. I know what poor is. I know what hard is. And I know what poor is here too. And poor in America is not poor here. Poor here is a lot worse than any American can think. And these people are happy because that's all they know. You know, but like you, or like the difference you're making, like I said, in their lives, you're changing lives here. You're showing them, even adults, that they're as good and they can overcome, you know. Some way, God will take care of them if they try. I mean, some people sit around here, just like in America, everywhere, and don't try, and they want handouts. But you just look over that.
We don't.
That's not the average
We
people.
don't see them.
No, you don't.
We really don't.
So you don't see them much here, no. There's a lot of good people here. You know, I quit school to work and all that. And, you know, that's why I look at people. They want what I have, well, do what I do. Go through the battles I went through. You can do it too if you want to try. It takes a lot of determination to do that. You can't give up. I've gave up a bunch of times for a minute. Then I said, wait a minute. All right, this didn't work. Let's try a different way. And here's what I've learned in life, which, I mean, I'm not old, but I'm not young. But I've learned this. If a man is smart, and you see that, and I watch a guy, an old man, a millionaire, let's say, he could tell me about his life. If I take his advice, I don't have to go through what he went through, and I could get the same results he did if I follow him. Yeah. So, you know, it's not impossible to do anything. It's just a will to do it. That's the thing. That's the difference. And even though you have a lot of, like you guys are going through problems, it's just a problem. It's not a big problem. It can be the biggest problem to other people, but if it's as big as you make it. Okay, it's not. It's just a problem. Problems are going to pass. If you keep doing the right thing for the right reasons, nothing can stop you except you. That's it. I got it turned. No, I don't. I got it all. Thank you.
Thank you.
No, I don't want you to. Unless you want a tipper, that's fine. But they don't take tips here, so that means you're not going to.
We always tip.
Okay, we'll give her a tip then.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I was already going to do that. When we started eating, I said, nah, nobody's paying for my food. I don't care who it is, they don't pay for my food. And I'll pay for theirs. Because God gives me more than enough, that's why. So I'm going to give it back. That's what I do. You're welcome, Beth.